Our baptism is not just some kind of religious act that we do because, well, Christians get baptized. It's a religious rite. No, our baptism is the physical embodiment of our setting apart Christ as Lord in our hearts and wanting to declare that to the world. And so we set him apart as Lord in our hearts, so we obey what he says by being baptized. But when we do that, we're speaking, we're saying something. We're declaring publicly and outwardly to God that we belong to him. Now, God might know that, but you're saying it publicly before everybody. I belong to you, God. You are my Lord. You are the Lord of glory, and you are my King. What you're saying to the church is you're saying, Jesus Christ is my Lord. I've set him apart as Lord in my heart. I am your brother. I am your sister. We are citizens of heaven together. Let's walk this thing out because we have the same master. That's what you're saying to the church. What you're saying to the world by means of your testimony that you give at being baptized is you're saying, I have been given new life. I have been given a new identification. I'm no longer dead. I was dead. I'm alive. My ears were shut. Now I can hear. I was blind. Now I can see. Jesus is Lord and he can rescue you too. That's what you say to the world. And my favorite is what you say to the enemy of your soul. This is my favorite. It's a declaration that you make before every dark spiritual power and principality, even Satan himself, as you outwardly say, yes, I was dead, but now I'm alive and I have a new king. Jesus is Lord. You have no power over me. He has power over you because all powers and authorities are in submission to him. I don't belong to you. I belong to the one who proclaimed judgment on those evil spirits who are in prison. I belong to the one who gave his life over for me. I belong to the one who has every angel, authority, and power in subjection to him. I belong to the one who crushed your head. That's my master. That's my master. See, our baptism is not just some religious activity. It's a declaration to all who will hear, whether it be God or the church or the world or your enemy, that Christ is Lord. You've set him apart as Lord in your heart. I know I've gone a minute over, but I do want to ask you a question. I want to ask you, when I bring up this subject, or we bring up the subject of baptism, if you're a believer and you haven't been baptized, I want to ask you why. And I want to tell you the story of the Ethiopian eunuch very quickly. So you'll find this in Acts chapter 8, and I think this is very relevant to close our message today. There's an Ethiopian eunuch that's traveling on a chariot, and he's reading from Isaiah. Philip, one of the early deacons, is sent by God to intercept this man. And Philip asks him, do you understand what you're reading? And he says, how can I understand unless somebody tells me? And so Philip begins to tell the Ethiopian eunuch what he's reading from Isaiah and how it applies to Jesus Christ. And here's what the Ethiopian says. He doesn't say, convince me, Philip, why I should be baptized now. He says this, look, here is water. Why shouldn't I be baptized? What's the question in your heart right now? Is it, why should I be baptized? I hope that question's been answered for you this morning. You should be baptized because Jesus is Lord, and he said so. And I hope that answers the question for you. The real question now is on July 7th and July 28th, there's gonna be water. Why shouldn't you be baptized?